Hello and welcome back to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me on a really chilly night here in northern Colorado, and you join me with my Tesla Model 3 Performance. This is my personal car, and well, it's just crossed 100,000 miles. So I'd like to welcome you to the first episode in the 100,000 mile evaluation of this car. We're going to be running it through a ton of tests, starting at battery degradation. We're going to be looking at the performance of the vehicle, if it's been affected. We're going to go through all of our costs, how many superchargers it's been to. It's going to be a multi-part series. And well, this is the first, and this is where we're going to take a walk around the car. Let's take a look at some of the damage, anything that's immediately apparent on the vehicle. And then what I want to do is have you guys comment with things you would like me to see or test. Of course, the nerdy stuff like charging curves and acceleration tests and battery degradation. I will be doing all of that, of course, but I'm really curious to see what you guys want to know about how well this car has been basically holding up with over 100,000 miles of, I think no other way of saying it, pure abuse. So, time to start the walk around more or less, and I have to be honest, I just ran this through the car wash. It's one of the touchless ones, don't freak out, although it's been through plenty of brushed washes. And time to look at kind of the damage. So, I have had this car paint protection filmed up front, the bumper. Thankfully, this car's never been in an accident. Let's hope that continues to be the case. But I have to say, the paint protection film has just saved this bumper. Now, it's taken some hits here or there. I can see it kind of like in this area, taking some huge rock hits. Also, I think I saw the other day, somewhere over in here, there's like a ripple effect. We'll see if we can get a good shot of that. I don't remember if my headlights were paint protection filmed. It feels like no, although I thought the answer was yes. I don't know. Anyway, they're all pitted, so you can see a little bit of this pitting in the lights here. And then the hood was not paint protection film. It was really just the bumper, and it was the inside of the dorsals. The reason I did paint protection, I'm trying to remember. I think we did a marketing deal with a company in North Carolina who wanted to come to one of our events, and I said, yeah, sure, we'll just wrap whatever you can. The hood's held up really well. A couple little light scratches in here, nothing major. It's honestly been kept in really good condition. I try and run it through as many touchless car washes as possible rather than brush car washes. In terms of the wheels, we've put the car back on these stock 20-inch wheels. And the reason we've done that is so for all of our testing, acceleration testing, range testing, it's at least on the wheels it was delivered on. Now, this car was actually delivered on silver wheels. I borrowed this from my friend Drew, who owns Martian wheels, but we got the car back to stock, basically. This is cracked, and this is cracked. So I need two new pieces of glass already. This one just happened. It will be my third windshield crack. Second windshield crack, needing my third windshield, I think. But I have to say, everything's held up wonderfully. Look, I take zero care of this car. All of the door handles are pretty much fine. I think the driver's door handle was replaced early on from new, and that's really the only issue I think I've had with it. Coming around the back, if you guys take a look, you'll see spoiler is lifting up on the sides a little bit. Not really. I think the car wash actually got some water in here, and now it's frozen and locked my spoiler on. So that's pretty nice. The back of the car looks wonderful. No real issues to speak of. It looks good. Now, I've had a couple things where I've taken the car off-road and had to like rip some plastic underbody panels off of it. So it's missing some of those, but that's fine. Let's take a look in the trunk. My friend Brian at I1 Tesla put on these little trunk lifter things that like should lift the trunk kind of automatically, but they've lost their spark, and now my trunk lid sucks. So thanks, Brian. I have my modern spare tire in the trunk here, and everything's pretty good. I am missing a couple components in the trunk, and what that is basically is I had a whole bunch of, all right, sorry for dropping stuff. I had a whole bunch of beer explode in the back of my car, and it left like maggots, and it was disgusting. And basically ripped all that, threw it in the trash, disinfected with some crazy chemical the whole underside of the car. So who knows? This charge port door has been perfect until a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I walked into it by accident, and I've kind of knocked it off kilter a little bit. And so now it's a little bit crunchy. You see, it doesn't love to close, and that's fine. This is the only panel gap out of alignment on this whole car. And I think it's gotten worse because of those little springs we put in there, maybe. But I don't remember that being a problem when it was new. I have to say the car looks good. Like, all the doors are pretty much straight. This thing's been jumped, it's been drifted, and it's held up extremely well. So if you take a look at the whole vehicle kind of from the outside, it looks honestly just as good as a brand new one. I mean, I see these things next to brand new 2022 Tesla Model 3s, and really apart from the headlight bulb difference, you'd have no idea. It's for 100,000 miles of literally parking it at the front of parking lots, not caring about it, it's fine. There are a couple little dings though. This ding happened early on. My friend said he would pay to fix it. I said, don't worry about it, I don't care. So that's just stayed there. And then just recently I noticed, you can't even really see it, just a light scratch down here. I recently noticed, but other than that, like literally that ding, this scratch, and something in the paint protection film up front here, that's literally it. Now you might be wondering what's going on with this marking up here on the roof, and while I have the Tesla factory roof rails installed, I pulled them off for range testing and stuff, and they put this paint protection film on so you don't ruin your paint here. Guys, you know, the thing for me is normally I obsess over car care. I, you know, ceramic coat the cars, and then I wax on top of the ceramic coat, and then I rejuvenate with a synthetic wax, and then a carnauba wax, and I go crazy. This car, I literally said, we are not caring about it. It's been the most relieving thing because I just literally run it through car washes and don't care. And it's held up just fine. So I'm not really sure it's worth spending all that mental heartache on taking care of your car. When this is a Model 3, they're like on every corner. If this was like a GT3 RS, I wouldn't take care of it this way, but it's not one of those. So I'd say she's been a trooper so far. That we're doing this at nighttime because I really want to show you during the day, but we'll have plenty of videos on that if you want like an in-depth thing. One of the videos I plan to make is actually cleaning up these white seats. I don't think they've been cleaned in 50,000 miles, something like that, but I have to say I'm so impressed with these seats. One of the things is I think a lot of people like remove the coating and use magic erasers. Don't do any of that crap. Dawn dish soap and a warm microfiber is the best way to clean these seats, and they just come back to literally brand new. Right now they're terribly disgusting, but when I stand up you'll see the driver's seat. In terms of the center console, I mean, everything's working great. No functionality issues here, just some cables in the way. The screen has been wonderful. The car's improved with software updates over time. We'll have a whole video on all the software updates this car has had. This glove box damper though has failed. So you can see if when I hit the glove box, watch it open, boom. So that's a little bit annoying, but really it's been really well taken care of. I shouldn't say that. It hasn't been well taken care of, but it's held up really well. If you look here on the dash, you'll see a couple dog scratches, and that's because I think one of the dogs freaked out when they saw us walk away or something like that. Take a look at how good of condition this seat is in. I mean, seriously, it's years makes no difference, brand new. And I still comment that this is one of the best seats, at least for me, in any modern vehicle. It's extremely, extremely comfortable. I've had the windows tinted. That's held up really well. I also had the roof tinted, which it comes pretty tinted from the factory. So when I replace this glass, I don't know if I'll do that again, but I am definitely going to replace the next windshield, because not having a tinted windshield in a hot state like this in Colorado in the summertime, it gets really hot. Yeah, makes a big difference. Let me show you here in the back. One of the things I've done is we've paint protection filmed this inner door sill guard, and that's so when the dogs are climbing into the car, they can handle it just fine. A couple bits of clothes, I'm not sure whose those are, but you can see we've trashed the white seats, right? Just dog muddy prints everywhere, and that's the way a car should be used, in my opinion. It's been fine, no issues in the back seat. Perhaps we should have this car professionally detailed, paint corrected, you know, get this dent fixed. I don't know, I really don't care. It's a tool, it's an iPhone on wheels, and it's held up great. So on initial inspection, it's been good. Let's take it for a drive and I'll tell you. How could I forget about this one? On literally day 3 of ownership, day 2 of ownership, yeah, one of the dogs freaked out and chewed this up. If anyone knows where I can get a new one of these, I think I would replace this piece right here. But other than that, things been pretty rock solid. So let's go for a drive in the Model 3 and just quickly talk about what's to come from this series. Again, this isn't really one of the more scientific videos. It's more or less to at least let you know. I know a lot of you have been asking for the 100,000 mile series, and well, we're here. I've already conducted a few tests, and the first one being a drag race between this and a Model 3 with 30,000 miles of the same vintage. And that video is actually, what am I trying to say? Actually, already live on this channel. So that is a video we've posted a few days ago. You can go back and see this. I'll also have a playlist of our 100,000 mile videos that we do with this car. I've also already conducted the battery degradation test, and I did a whole live stream on our sister channel, Out of Spec Motoring. So if you want to watch 5 hours of footage, you can certainly do that. I don't give you the results really in that video, calculated out. We're going to do that here. We're going to compare them against Scan My Tesla and Tesla Fi. The cool thing about this car is every single mile, every single charging session, every single thing I've done with this vehicle has been logged. I've kept track of all of it. And so that's really going to be kind of neat to see. And just to give you an idea on where this car stands, take a look here at our lifetime, 106,500 miles. And here's some of our stats, and you can see that's the exact odometer on the vehicle. I was lucky enough to pick this car up brand new the last day of September 2020. I got 2 years of free supercharging. Believe you me, we used every last drop of it too. And it's just been great road tripping this car around. And so it's had a rough life. And I think people, and maybe you, hopefully you are curious about how well it's held up. And in the previous video, when we did the drag race, a lot of people were wondering, how do I keep my steering wheel so clean? That was an interesting question. Those of you who know me know I'm really particular about only one thing, and that is a clean steering wheel. And what do we do to keep it clean? Nothing really special. I just wash it with a leather cleaner once in a while and keep my hands clean. That's about it. So keep an eye out on this channel. What I want to do is introduce you to the series, of course. I mentioned that, but I also want you to comment down below right now with things you're interested in seeing with this 100,000 mile update. So that will be to come. I think we should end it with a full throttle acceleration. What do you think, Jordan?
Oh yeah.
It's still healthy.